And here are all of my verses is on the coast tonight that I'm covering for a bunch of today. So what's ahead? Yeah, I think a lot of clouds again tomorrow. A few peaks of sun, but at the same time, a couple. And again, leaving Friday for August here in Boston so far. We're at about 4 degrees above normal. Expectation is
Run, 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 I'm a sucker Hey all, thanks for being here. I'm not going to talk much. It's more of a meditative state for me. But I just wanted to thank you all for coming in, hitting the like button. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. I will say this is the last in a series of nine drawings. So there's 9 illustrations like this one. This is the last in the series, and so once I complete this, I'm going to take a different direction. I'm going to continue with the same concept, but I'm going to take a different direction in terms of detail. You can hear the music in the background. Shoot me a thumbs up. It's copyright free. I thought it would be appropriate to have in the background while I'm creating here. And I'll be doing this on the nights that I'm not dashing, as much as I can. Fix that one first. Like I said in my other live streams, I'm still navigating the technical side of live streaming. So on my phone, I cannot see the chat, at least not conventionally. So I do have the live running behind me on my home computer. So I will turn around from time to time and check the chat. So thank you, Trent. Yes, it is awesome. It's awesome to do. I actually started this a long time ago, almost 2 years ago, and got creative block until I figured, since I started live streaming, I thought it would be a fun way to kind of farm watch hours by continuing this project and finishing this up. It's been almost 1.5 years since I've worked on this. And thank you for the 4 likes. There's actually a series of time-lapse videos on my other channel that'll give you a good look at what the rest of these look like. And you can find that link, I think, in my bio. The reason I'm going to discontinue this series after this final piece is because it's a tremendous strain on my eyesight. I'm wearing pretty strong magnifiers to be able to see all this detail. And so my goal is to lighten up the complexity after this and work on something a little less detailed with bigger shapes so my eyesight isn't affected. My playlist over. Give me a sec. There we go. The video paused. I just subscribed to a premium edition of YouTube so that I wouldn't have to deal with ads popping up in the middle of the playlist. This is a copyright-free playlist, by the way. Trent, I'm a graffiti artist at heart originally. I'm from New York, and I grew up in the beginning days of graffiti in Manhattan, and so I adapted to that style very quickly. Plus, I'm a big fan of video games, particularly like this piece is modeled after a game called Tempest. And in Tempest, you have a dial, and you have to take this spaceship around a series of different shapes, geometric shapes, and you have to shoot in at the invaders that are coming out from the center. If you remember that game, Tempest. If not, look it up. It's a pretty wild game. And so with graffiti, with geometry, tech and bio, those are the things that drive this style of illustration for me. So you're right on, Trent. Thanks, Trent. I'm gonna finish these. This particular canvas is kind of encased in a very small enclosure, and I have the UV lights running on each side and above it to light up the fluorescent inks. And so when I'm ready to start drawing with regular markers, I will leave these on, but I will turn on an overhead lamp. And that's the process. I kind of go back and forth between the neon, the fluorescent, and regular traditional markers. For me, it's a good mix. I'll probably be at this till about midnight. This is my cheapskate way of farming watch hours. I needed something fun to do. I didn't want to. Let's see if I can get this one on here too like that. I think that's all. That's it. I don't want to get too into the weeds with this, but you see that there's an alternating pattern of red and orange and yellow and green. And typically I would continue that color scheme throughout to the edges, but the outside edge is is the actual frame. So I want to keep consistent with that. When you turn the lights on, you'll see I didn't do that with all the other colors. I left those dark as well. Those blue and kind of gray colors are the full frame and keep, holding this together. Thanks, Trent. Yeah, you can kind of, look at the Stardashians. They're doing the cooking thing. Borderline's doing the fish tanks. I love the fish tanks. And she's expanded. She started with one fish tank. Now I think she's got two. She's purchased some more pets and kind of juggling between the two. I saw a Mad Dasher talk to her about adding some copyright-free music to the scene to add some ambience, to add some color. And, you know, I've been planning this for a couple weeks now and thinking about it. But this illustration's been sitting here for months, so it was the catalyst for my thought process. It's green. Like I said, this canvas is kind of cased in a small area, so I kind of have to be creative with some of the shapes. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to cough. Yeah, Trent. When I first started watching like Mad Dasher and some of the bigger streamers and content creators, I was like, why are people watching other people deliver food? I didn't understand it. But these Mad Dasher, Daniel, and these other guys, some of these other guys had a way about their style, their personality, their comedic talent, their personality, like their qualities. And I started watching them because of who they are, their personalities. So in that, I became a fan of watching DoorDash videos. Also, I was just starting to DoorDash myself, so I wanted to learn about the the ins and outs of picking up orders, dropping off orders, the app itself, the ins and outs of the app, the do's and don'ts, right? So, and Daniel, Mr. Bring It On You, I think that's his name. A couple of other people were really good at conveying that message, and so I just started watching all these people door dashing, and I became a fan of it very quickly. So, but yeah, it's interesting what people will watch to pass the time. My wife just started watching TikTok videos about a month ago, and lo and behold, she's hooked. She never watched a single video in her life. We've been married 26 years. And I've never seen her sit down and flip through videos like the way she is now. It's incredible. Some of this control you see I have here is from a little bit from handling spray cans. You know, you have to have a certain balance with the tip. The flow of the paint coming out of the can, the distance of the can from the wall, from the canvas, wherever. And yes, I'm enjoying the cocktail. And so as you see me get over to like the sides, there are these bricks holding up my UV lamps. And there, you know, there's not a lot of space for me to kind of have free reign to do what I'm doing. So I kind of have to angle the pen a little bit differently, and that's taken some practice to get used to. Yeah, so I'll give you a little story. The very first time I actually did graffiti, and it was my dad would take us to the grocery store, and we would see the trains rolling across, and all of a sudden one day I saw a train that had artwork on it, and it was colorful, and it wasn't too extravagant like it is now. It was bubble letters. And my dad had a little bit of a creative streak in him. He could do certain things, not everything, but he was creative. He could color inside the lines in a coloring book. So he taught me that. But he came home one day, and I was sitting on the front steps, and he had a drawing pad with him. This is a true story. He had a drawing pad with him, and he saw the bubble letters on the train and wrote my name in bubble letters on the drawing pad, and that's the catalyst that started my entire love and passion for graffiti. I'm not gonna. I have examples I can show you, but I want to continue. I want to keep on the. I'm in a zone right now with this piece, so I don't want to get too sidetracked, but later on down the line, I'll start showing you some of my other pieces. Graffiti pieces. I can show you some of the other, let me see if I can get them. I don't want to mess up the what I've got going on here with the positioning of the phone. But I'm going to show you the other 8 pieces in this series to show you what I'm talking about. So that's one. I've got a UV light on that. That one's called Emerald City. You can probably see why. There's tornadoes in there. There's Emerald City. There's the yellow brick road. And this one's called, I'll unplug this. This one's called Sun versus Moon. I have a full YouTube video time lapse on this one. I'll come in close on it so you can see how detailed it is. You can see why I can't do this anymore. This is super detailed. That stick figure is like a ½ an inch tall. So And this one's called Stars and Stripes. And that one was done around July 4th of about maybe 4 or 5 years ago. There's my lamp. So you can see the fireworks. There's a full time-lapse video on this one too. And both of these, Trent, if you're still here, both of these, I produced music tracks to go along with them. Like actual drum beats. I made all the drum beats, all the sounds myself. That one's called Fire and Ice. Yeah, I mean, Trent, we're talking, I would sit down for 3-4 hours at a time. So it's just like door dashing, right? So I spend 4, 5, 6 hours door dashing and it's like nothing to me. And so for me to be able to sit down, this is my crown jewel. This is my favorite one of them all. It's called Left Brain, Right Brain. And so that's me. I'm able to use both sides of my brain. I'm able to use the technical side. So computer science, coding, things like that. Puzzle solving. And then over to the right is the creative side. You see floral patterns, more, more biological, more colorful. And so that's why this is called Left Brain, Right Brain. And then in the center here is the mixture. So see all these different colored dots? That's the mixture of the two. And then this is the shape of a brain, right? And this up here is called Hearts on Fire. And that was my my first, where I started actually filming myself doing this. These two in particular. And so these two have fragmented video sets to them, but the rest of these are fully produced YouTube videos. And then there's that right here's kind of a surfer tropical theme. You see the surfboards, right? And so they're different. They're fluorescent drawings, but they also work in regular light too. So I don't know where my it's getting cluttered in here. See if I can find the remote to the lamp. Here we go. So if I take the other light's not working. If I just light that up. So this is without the fluorescent lamp. That's what these look like without. So I'm gonna plug the phone back in because the battery dies real quick, and I'm gonna get back to this illustration. Corey, what's up, bro? Thank you. So Corey, this is my little trick to farming watch hours. So like Borderline has the fish tanks, the Stardashians have the cooking, right? This is me. This is what I cooked up. So I'll be on till about midnight working on this illustration, and then what's today? I'll be back on tomorrow night hopefully from like 9 to midnight, so about 3 hours. And I'll finish this within a few days. These typically take 35 to 45 hours to complete. As you can see, I mean, I've been here for a while now and I haven't got much done, so there's that. But yeah, Corey, this is all hand-drawn illustrations I've been doing for about a few years now. It's a series of 9 pieces. Oh, is he? So cool, always changing up his station. So just so you guys know, I do try to jump in your lives and hang out as long as I can, either while I'm driving to work or driving home or hanging out on the couch. If you guys are live, I try to jump in. He's already monetized. Yeah. Let me give you a brief picture of where I'm at. I have 107 subscribers, and I have, as of this morning, I had 63 watch hours. So I am nowhere near. I probably have a snowball's chance in hell of getting to 4,000 by February. So, but I'm gonna try like hell. I think this will help. This if I keep consistently doing this and gaining support with it, then I could probably sidechain the DoorDash videos, because the DoorDash videos I do are like 5 hours, 6 hours, sometimes 7 hours long. I don't want to go longer than that, but having a 6 hour, 7 hour live stream helps. Yeah, 900 subs. Wow, that's awesome. I will say this. For those of you who know Dana, I was on her live the other night, and she freaking called me out and had one of her subs put a link to my channel on her live stream while she was dashing, while she was live streaming, and I was like floored. I was like, are you kidding me? And I think I got like 7 subs from like that one call out. So when I say I'm in your guys' lives, I'm in your guys' lives, and I'm actually hanging out with you and commenting and supporting you guys. So let's see. I think I've done as much as I can right now with the fluorescent stuff. So I want to finish the blue. You can see these blues. I want to finish these first, because the most negative space that's left is the oranges, the reds, and the purples, right? So I'm going to turn the light back on. See if I can bring it down a little bit. And that's what that looks like. Like I said, each illustration has 2 parts. The fluorescent part and the regular part, where you can see this is just natural light. There's a little bit of UV hitting it, but for the most part, this is natural light. A part of me wants to go in here and fill in the dark around the yellow dots, but I kind of think that might ruin it. So, and I wasn't going to talk much on this video, but now that you're all in, there's a few of you in here, I think you know, try to explain things a little bit. Same as door dashing, right? I don't want to just do a DoorDash stream and drive around and drop off packages and not talk. There's, you know, that's not engagement. That's just me dropping off packages, right? Also, I don't know where it went, but so obviously I'm at home right now, but anytime I need to take off for a couple minutes, I just put this sucker right there, and that just keeps people on for those watch hours. But yeah, Corey, like I was telling Trent, this is kind of an offshoot of graffiti for me, but it encompasses some other elements like geometry, science fiction, video games. Like, you know, obviously this is kind of it's called Tempest. It's named Tempest after the old video game Tempest. So oh yeah, Trent, forgot to mention, so you're not going to be able to see it here with this, but these are called chroma depth glasses. They're 3D glasses, but they're only designed for colors like this: reds, blues, greens, yellows, and whites and blacks. So when I put these on, all of this shit becomes 3D. So maybe one day I'll have a show, right? Maybe one day I'll have all these pieces together in a tent, in a dark tent. I'll have the UV lamps kind of hanging from the top, and if you guys all want to come to the show, I'll make an event out of it, and we'll have a a 3D party. Put these on. All this, especially here, becomes super 3D. You can't see it through my camera's lens, but you can see it with your own eyes. These things are amazing. So there's that. All right, I'm gonna continue on because I want to like. Oh my god! Oh my god! There's an ad. I don't think ads are copyrighted, so I think I'm good there. It's just music. So like I said, I want to finish out these blues. I don't want to talk too much more, but I want to finish out these last 4 quadrants of blue. Like these are done already, right? These four are done. I just need to finish these 4 out, and then sorry. My day job is more often than not my night job too. I have to keep checking emails and getting back to folks. But all my fine point blue markers have dried out, so I have to come up with a new way of doing some of the fine line detail that I want to do in here. And like I said, a lot of this comes on the fly. I'm just kind of doing this right out of my head. So I just need to find something close to what I'm looking for. I've got hundreds of markers here too. Like, I'll show you. This is my fluorescent set here, right? And I've got, oh, it's a Super Mario lantern. I've got all these markers back here, and then I've got like it's like an arsenal, guys. So like I have this here too, which is, and I get these on the cheap on Amazon. They're really good markers too. They're just as good as the ones that cost $3.50 each. And so I have like 3 sets of these kind of markers. Sorry. So I need some fine point markers that are going to work with these 4 spaces. I've had some mishaps with this. I've kept it covered for the most part with a blanket or a towel to keep it from getting damaged. But there's some spots where some mishaps occurred. And like at the end of this, when I'm almost done with this, I'll fix these up with some touch-ups. Like I can come in here and just kind of clean this up a bit right here, this piece right here. Not with that though. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a big smudge right here, like something got wet on here. But I can come in and just kind of knock that out like that. Clean that up. These also these colors can fade over time too. And that's why when I showed you the wall, all those other pieces are like encased in frames. And that keeps to, preserve the colors and stuff, so. There we go. I'll do that. I don't want to mess with that too much. That one looks good. So basically what I'm doing here with these 4 pieces is I'm doing a coloring book style line art illustration that's it's gonna fill in these spaces. So I'm just gonna come up with something off the top of my head that's gonna do that. And then once I do that, I'll come in with the thicker markers, right? And then I'll fill in some of the dark stuff. And then I'll go in at the end. I'll turn the UV. I'll turn off the lamp, right? We'll get to the UV stuff. So that's my process. Again, I can't see the chat on my phone, so I have a second stream of my live going behind me on my computer. So I'll be able to see the chats on that. Yeah, so I think to your earlier point, Trent, about this thing moving, that might be possible with AI. I could probably drop this into Midjourney and have Midjourney or ChatGPT replicate this entire piece. And then I can say, hey, animate this, or animate the center of this, or animate the, you know, the tentacles, or the, you know, the, yeah. So also too, once I turn the light on, I can see kind of little detail oriented things that I need to fix. And so like I touch up spots here and there when I see like that didn't fully fill that in exactly. It's hard to see in just the black light. It's hard to see exactly what you're doing. So sometimes while the light's on, you get a better, missing some spots here, right? Anywhere I'm like touching up is a spot where I missed, because you can't really see that much in the dark. And maybe I could get some thicker glasses, but there's no way I'm doing that. I don't want to get to a point where there's no return. At least I can still see without my glasses on, period. Thankful for that. But this kind of really intricate, detailed stuff needs some magnification. So I was like, I can wear these for so long without my eyes getting a little irritated. I did buy contacts and I tried them last week, but it was a disaster. Getting them out took about an hour, and it was a complete torture. I won't say I'm not gonna wear them. I just think I need to get used to putting them in and taking them out. And that's just for me to be able to kind of walk around and see normal. I won't be able to use them for this kind of stuff. Yeah, Trent, this is a Bristol board, so it's cardstock, you know? It's like a drawing pad. And it's called, specifically, it's called a vellum Bristol board. And it's a very, very, very smooth cardstock with a light coating on it, but it also has the ability to absorb the ink in a way that I can do certain things like blending and creating certain textures with some of the colors. Like for instance, you know, I could do this green and add it there, and then take the yellow, and because it's kind of smooth and shiny a little bit, I can take the yellow and blend that into the green. You know, I am good with charcoal. I am good with chalk. So you're finding out that this DoorDasher that you guys kind of hang out with from time to time actually has a lot of different abilities. So I have a big suitcase. It's a crate, and it's got dozens of different colored chalk. And so in my past and from time to time, I will do chalk art, and I'll do it professionally too. So, you know, chalk art, graffiti art. I can paint, I can airbrush, I can sculpt, I can carve. I do know the digital side, so I am a master of the Adobe suite and Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Acrobat. Like I said before, left brain, right brain. So my left brain has the ability to handle a lot of technical stuff, difficult things, puzzle solving. And then my right brain has the ability to draw, paint, airbrush, sing, write music, make music. If you, you know, so I give you a little glimpse. My room's a mess. This is my man cave. So my room's a mess. I have an electronic drum kit right there. That's my laptop. That's weighted keyboard, weighted piano. That is my controller for my Machine MK3. So this is my beat maker right here, where I create beats. And that's my baby right there, my camera. And there's my live stream behind me. So that's how I'm reading the chat right now. So I intend to continue on with these late night drawing sessions. I think it's fun. It's relaxing. And, ooh, loud, yes. Okay. And we're back. So, real quick, you watched, I just started, I stumbled across Dana about, I don't know, 2 months ago. You said you followed her like back when she started. She says she started in like January or February of this year. I mean, the growth of that woman, that is just amazing to see. You know, you jump on her lives and she's got like 250 people viewing her live, door dashing and delivering food. So, but she is who she is, and that's the amazing part. I mean, and Daniel, Matt Dasher, he's the GOAT in my mind. He is the GOAT. I don't see anybody, even like Pedro and some of these other guys, nobody's doing kind of live streaming, engaging with the audience like he does. He's got like private jokes, inside jokes with his, you know, with his followers, with his subscribers. And he's been so helpful to me, like getting me subscribers, giving me advice, hints, tips, and insights. And so I'm like kind of, you know, humbled to be a part of this kind of small community. Like I said, Dana called. I'm like, who am I? And Dana calls me out on her live stream. I've got like 100 subscribers. I've got like, I don't know, 63 watch hours. I've only been streaming for like 2 weeks, guys. I mean, what's going on? Oops. See, like I said, when the light's on, I see little, I'm very detail oriented. I see little things that bother me. Like you miss a spot, or you see like a little tiny stain that you can fix. See, like I missed the whole spot here. There we go. And I'm running 2 different fluorescent style markers. So these are the Sharpies. These are the strongest. The Sharpies are the strongest of the fluorescent. And then this one is from that collection I showed you earlier that I got on Amazon. Like, I think I paid $18 for the whole set of all those markers. So no more going to Michael's to spend $3.50, $4 on a marker, right? And I missed a spot here too, so with this one. This one's more salmon colored, but it's still fluorescent. And I like the contrast it gives to the Sharpie, the Sharpie neon, which is a little brighter. See that? It's a little brighter. That's the Sharpie, and this is the Amazon marker. But it's still all fluorescent. All right, so my thought process when I do these things is very fluid and it's instantaneous. I can't believe I'm saying that to you because it's just me. It's just it comes out of me organically. All the shapes that you see, I create from just my head. I did have a concept sketch that I sketched out this whole thing on, I don't know, a notepad or something somewhere. So I didn't sketch out all the detail. I sketched out the basic idea, and then I created a. I think I did like an Illustrator file to keep the lines intact, keep the shape intact. So, but again, Tempest, the old video game, right? I'm gonna stop talking. I just want to get going on this. I found this fine point. It's a little bit turquoise, but again, like I said, this is kind of a creating coloring book scenario. Sorry. Sometimes I get OCD with these things. I'll check the chat if I need to, but for the most part, I want to stay focused on what I'm doing right now. So you guys have been with me for a while. You've seen I haven't got much done. What these reds, these last 8 arms here, are gonna take forever to finish. So this is where graffiti kind of lends a hand in some of this stuff, and it's all about perspective. So you see I'm making these lines and they're very aligned with the angle of the overall shape. A lot of times with graffiti, when you're like building lines, building a font, creating a letter that's going to connect to another letter, there's a lot of thought that's put into that in terms of where a line goes. Hang on a second, guys. My son just came out and I'll put you on mute. I have two boys. One's 23, one's 21. All right, sorry guys. I had to catch up with my son. Okay. YouTube was giving me some, I don't know what, about too many devices, so it paused my playlist. So you see what I'm doing with these lines is I'm just creating a platform for the fluorescent markers to come in and fill in these gaps. Like I'm keeping these lines the same, I'm trying to keep these lines the same. As the night goes on, obviously I get a little weary, a little tired, so. And then we'll finish this one out. And as I've gotten through these 9 pieces and gotten older and more accustomed to style, I've cared less about perfection. So I'm just kind of, sometimes I'm working on just keeping things going on a fast pace. And then like these lines aren't perfectly straight, whereas in the first few illustrations they had to be straight, and so now I'm taking less care of that, and it reduces the stress. You know, I'm not a professional rock star trying to make a record album here. Although, like I said, I can carry a tune. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We're all done. So then I go back and kind of analyze everything. This one has a little bit of something going on here, but that's okay. So I don't care too much about that. And we're up to 5 likes. On this, my first alternative live stream from the DoorDash live stream. And I wanted to give this a different feel, a different aesthetic, a different atmosphere. So let's see. What else are we gonna do? We're gonna deepen this up a little bit. Okay. There's a small part of this too where you've got to stay sharp. You know, if you get too kind of fatigued, if your eyes get too fatigued, if your mind gets too fatigued, it's time to kind of call it quits, because you start making little errors that are not correctable. Like, say this line being so much thicker than this line. Obviously I don't care about that, but that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Or you know, if you're trying to stay consistent with a color scheme, right? And you get too tired, you'll kind of fall away from that. And like I did down here, right there, see that green? That should be blue. It's because I messed up. But that was a long time ago, so we're doing good now. So you guys see how long this is taking? This is going to be probably another week or so before this sucker's done. But selfishly, I will hopefully have some watch hours to boast about. I want to end at midnight, but I'll go a little bit longer. I do have to get up for work in the morning. And sometimes I even get up a little bit earlier than that, full disclosure. I'll get up really early and go out and do a couple of dashes, right? I'll do like I'll throw DoorDash and Uber Eats on for like from like 6:38 to like 7:30. See what I can get. Make 15, 20 bucks, 25 bucks. This morning I made like 33. That's pretty lucky on a Monday. If you can hear that, that's my son singing in his bedroom. There's nothing I can do about that. So I mentioned earlier some of the technical things I still need to learn. Like, am I putting the right hashtags in my description? Do I even need to put hashtags in my description? That kind of stuff. OCD getting the best of me once again. Hold on. That's too thick. I'm gonna get him to come in here and finish these lines. Come in. See, I missed a bunch of stuff. All right. I just used that color. What do we got here? That's a green. So I already know I'm gonna like alternate these little squares here with green and blue. And that'll be a nice contrast to the rest of this piece. They'll all be the same, obviously. Let me test the color here. So I've got like a scratch area off. So this is my scratch area, just me testing colors out. So Sorry. And I'm going to do that. There we go. That's a pretty dark green. That's kind of what I want, because I want to frame these out and make the fluorescent stand out a little bit. So come in here. One, two. The kid can hit some pretty good notes. But they're not particularly in pitch, if you know what I mean. See what I'm saying? I'm starting to get a little fatigued, so you see this line wasn't so great. I'm going to try and go back over that a little bit. There you go. This is a small side story to me being able to draw in particular. Let's say, put the graffiti aside and all that. When I was in high school, I would, middle school to high school, I would draw celebrity figures like Sylvester Stallone and Michael Jackson. And I would do that by just having a picture of the celebrity off to the left and being able to copy it to the right. Well, that got me one of my first freelance gigs, and that was, so if you don't know, I live in Massachusetts now, so there's a big hospital in Boston called Boston City Hospital, and we would go to the pediatric department at Boston City, and as we would talk with our doctor, right, I would, he'd say, what are you up to? And so I'd say this and that and this and that, and talk about my ability to draw and stuff. And so he said, you know what, why don't you put a few sketches together of some celebrities and we'll put them up in the lobby of the pediatric department. So I did that for free, as one does when they're a kid and doesn't understand the business. And so for a good while, I had 3 or 4 pencil sketches of famous people in the lobby of the pediatrics department of Boston City Hospital in the 1980s when I was in my teens. Where was I at? Oh, I got an idea. I'll go back to that green. So, too much linear, right? So I want to start getting some curvature in there. And so I'm going to do this. And this. And that. There. And I'll just create a little bit of symmetry there. I'm going to go here. Again, we're setting the table for some more fluorescent stuff. Can we fit another one? Small one, yeah, maybe. This one, I need to make it 2. Okay. And this is where the organic comes in. So I'm thinking about family here. Like, these are families. Like family 2, family 3, family 4, family, right? All right, and we're gonna go a little nuclear here. See, like I said, this just comes right out of my head. Like, I honestly don't know where the next line's coming from. I just put the pen to the paper, and this is what happens. So, get a little bit of a space problem here, but I think I'm going to be able to eke it out. I'll check the chat in a couple. I just want to stay focused because I'm kind of getting ready to wind it down so I can go to bed. But this is my first live stream illustration exhibition. Hope you guys all like it. If anyone's lurking, please hit the like. Hit the subscribe. I'm shamelessly farming for watch hours. Boom, 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 boom. There's my son again singing in the background. Let's see what's going on. Oh, we got an alright, we're good. Thanks, Trent. Sorry, just checking the chat for the first time in a while, so thanks for hanging out, sir. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna pull a nightcap in a few. Let's see what time it is. Let's see, it is 11:58. I'm gonna push it a little bit past midnight, and then I'm gonna like end the stream, and we'll continue back up. Today is Tuesday. We'll continue back up tomorrow night. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I get the right orange. See there, I just keep missing spots. And the magnifying glasses help in a big way with being able to see all this stuff. If I took these off, I would not be able to do what I'm doing. I promise you that. So with that. All right. And that's why after this is done, I'm going to discontinue this whole series. I'm glad I got to show you the rest of the set. Let's see. So See all this nonsense right here? I gotta kind of figure a way to. I'll probably pull some purples in here, some darker reds, and then you'll see that kind of repeat throughout the rest of these particular. But we're getting close to getting the blues done. The the blue sides, the blue arms. What are we gonna do? We're gonna go dark for a little bit, and we're gonna fill in some fluorescence. How's that? And that'll be the end. I'll just close it out with that. So, all right, and green, blue, right? Blue and green. Let's double check we're at the right colors. Blue and green. Okay. So it's pretty dark. And I don't know if these lines that I made are even numbered. I probably earlier, if I'd done these earlier on in the night when I was fresh, I would have definitely counted these and made sure that they were even. That's the kind of detail I pay attention to when I'm doing this. So we're gonna go and see. Green, right? Green and blue. So we'll do blue. I think people will like this neon style better than the regular style, but over the course of time, I think they'll appreciate the dichotomy of both of them and the overall effort that I'm making here. So I'm just trying to be aware of what I'm doing and not make any mistakes. See that? Let's see what's going on there. I kind of didn't want this to happen, but like I said, at this stage in the game, this is my final piece. I'm not too worried about details, minutia. I just want to get this one out of the way with, in a good way. Not, I don't want to half-ass it. So, but thank you for hanging out as long as you have. You're really helping me out, and your support is greatly appreciated for the watch hours I'm going to gain from doing this. It's not going to be earth-shattering in terms of quantity. Like if I can do, I don't know, 3 hours a night on the nights that I'm not dashing, and get at least 2 to 3 people hanging out for those 3 hours, that's that's 9 hours, right? Did I do the math right there? I don't know. So, also, in some of my earlier works, I would completely turn the lights off when I get to this point where I'm doing the neon stuff and make a lot more mistakes. And also found out there's a light above me that's kind of coming down. See, if I turn that off, all you would see is complete neon, complete fluorescent color. But I like to have a little bit of light on so you can see some of the rest of it. Here we go. So. Alright. Are we done? Nope, we have one more to do. Okay, so. I know there's a couple of you still left here. I will check the chat in a second. The chat's behind me on my computer. We're in some copyrighted free music in the background, just so you guys are aware. I deliberately searched for a copyright-free playlist that was lo-fi hip-hop. I thought that would be appropriate to sidechain with this particular style of illustration, which is kind of based on a host of different concepts, from graffiti to geometry to biotech. As Trent so astutely noticed. I made a mistake there, but I can fix it with the green. So this is the one I kind of messed up on. I put the lines too close together. There we go. Boop, boop. And like I said, when I turn the light on, sometimes I see mistakes. Ooh, right there, boom. I'm not gonna be able to fix that. So we'll figure something out there. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Hold on, hold on. I've got the remedy. I've got the solution. Boom. There, we take care of that. So there's some math involved in this too, right? Okay, hold on. Root. Fix that. So I solved that problem on the fly. And therein lies the storytelling part of this whole piece. So what are we doing now? Okay, green, blue. I did all that. I got some more work to do. Hold on. We'll see if we have to do some more cosmetic surgery here. I wasn't planning on talking so much during these. And I'm still on the fence about whether or not I still want to do that, but it's cool to be able to explain some things out as I'm doing them, because yes. You're seeing a lot of small steps being taken in a long period of time. Like I think I've been on almost 3 hours now. You're seeing a lot of small, tiny steps being taken in a long period of time to create an overall communication piece here. And that communication piece is very simple. I mean, if you break it down, it's the fact that I loved a game called Tempest growing up. The name of this piece is called Tempest. I loved a game called Tempest growing up. In the 80s, I played it. It was vector-based. You see all the straight lines. You see the angles, right? And I'm a big expert level user of Adobe Illustrator. So what we're gonna do now, I think that's also 1, 2, 3, 4 are done. We're gonna come in and fill in greens, right? See that? And good Lord, there's still 2 of you here. I think when I did my test, I did do a test of this to kind of map out the colors, the video quality, the audio. And I thought it was private, but it actually was public because Dean said he saw it. If you guys know Dean. Said he was watching it. He's probably sitting back watching this now and just lurking. But anywho, I didn't know anyone could see this because I thought I had set it to private. And all I was doing was testing the video quality and sound. But lo and behold, so there you go, there's that. And that's one of 4. And sometimes I do this in either clockwise or counterclockwise fashion. I was particularly doing that specifically for the time-lapse videos that I was producing. I think I'm done with that. I'm done with the time-lapse thing for now. And I find that this is a little bit more engaging for me because I'm talking about it as I'm doing it on a live stream versus having the phone, like a time-lapse app on the phone, recording my emotion and, you know, scrunching it down to a few seconds. That's fun too. But it's also it's a little bit more relaxing, a little more rewarding to be able to talk about what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So we can fix that little mistake there. Boom, 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 boom. Done. And like this Bristol vellum is very forgiving for certain things. Okay, that's 2 of 4. Who knows? You know, I got a couple of you hanging out with me. It's midnight, right? Who knows what we could have in 3 or 4 weeks if I keep consistently doing this every night and talking through the details of it, talking through the process, my mindset, how I think about what I'm doing. And we're almost done. Honestly, I'll have to tell you, I'm almost done too. Like, I'm getting tired, so I will say adieu at some point in the near future. And you can see I have a passion for this. I mean, it's freaking midnight on a Monday night, so I do love doing this. And I'm kind of sorry that I haven't been working on this particular piece for a long time. Let's say almost 2 years. This has been sitting here untouched for 2 years. So it took live streaming for me to figure out that I had a vehicle to give this thing a pulse to finish it. And I was right. I think this is the way to go. And then when I finish this and continue on with the next series, it's going to have a different feel. It's going to have a little bit of a brighter tone to it, a faster pace. The music will probably be the same, I think. I love that lo-fi hip-hop vibe in the background. It's copyright free, so I feel I can get away with it. And that's that. Let's go back to the blue. I think I'm gonna put my final touches on this right here with the blue. Do that line. And that line. Oops. That's okay. So remember when I said my dad taught me how to color? My dad taught me how to color inside the lines on a coloring book, like right there. Boo-hoo. I can fix that very quickly. And so for the small group that's still here, thank you very much for hanging out. I really do appreciate you for taking the time to watch me do this and your comments. I hope you see if like Trent maybe Corey, if you guys have been hanging out this long, you kind of see the amount of effort that goes into putting these pieces together. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you so much. I'm going to check the chat one last time. All right, give me 1 sec. I'll close it out with a couple more colors and then we'll call it a night. All right, guys, honestly, thank you for hanging with me tonight. I really appreciate it. I hope that you see this as a much different kind of thing from doing DoorDash Live and Uber Eats Live and just kind of driving around, fast paced, picking up orders, dropping them off. This for me, this is my passion, as DoorDashing is too. But this has been a passion of mine like all my life. DoorDashing started a couple years ago, so I've been doing this all my life, and it's who I am at my core, is an artist and a creative, both illustratively, artistically, but also musically. I'm looking forward to coming up with some new tunes as well. I showed you my studio. I make my beats myself, and my hope is to kind of keep that vibe going, keep that process going, and the momentum going as well, right? So let's do some final colors here. We're going to go with the green. Let's make sure on the green. That's the green and not the yellow. The yellow and the green look the same, by the way. So if I put yellow and green together here in the natural light, obviously you can see the difference, but guess what? You can't see it here. So another fine detail. Green. So we're going to go green. And we're going to shut the light off. And we're going to fill the families in, right? Remember I said families? So like family of 7. Looks like single parents, right? Almost. So we're going to go in there and do that. And then I'll say my final good night. I think I've made the right choice in doing this. I've thought about this for a couple weeks. Thought about adding the copyright-free track and whether or not I was going to talk during this, because a lot of times, 99.9% of the time, outside of tonight, I don't say a word. I just do this, you know. It's just a process that comes from my brain. So I think, I'm going to come in here with these particular shapes, these semicircles, and I might come in here and at some point, all my illustrations have stick figures in them, by the way, all of them. There may be a point at, where I kind of sneak in some stick figures. There's a significant aspect of stick figures that speaks to me, and that is that I encounter a lot of people that say, I can't even draw a stick figure. And I say to that, no, that's not true. Yes, you can draw a stick figure. Anybody can draw a stick figure. Anybody. And so there's literally stick figures in every single... I showed you guys the whole series, right? Those of you who are still with me, who got to see that. Every single one of those drawings has a stick figure in it, at least one. Oh, what do we have here? So, all right, we're in the blue, so we're come here to that. I also I like the freedom of being able to just drop a copyright-free playlist in the background. That's just so cool. It really is a nice contrast to what I do with. And holy fucks, I'm only like 2 weeks into live streaming, guys. So okay, so give me a few months. I'll be all right. I think I'm done. I think I'm done for tonight. So tomorrow night, these are gonna be finished. I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna come in here in these spaces here, these white spaces, and do some pretty interesting detail work, kind of like what I did here. And then that'll be done, and then it's off to the races with the orange, red, and salmon colored stuff. These arms here. Okay. All right. Check the chat the last time. Trent, thank you for hanging out, man. You've really been good with the engagement, brother. I appreciate you being on. Mad love. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for another 3+ hours of illustration. Again, all the rest of these other drawings have been done with just me and a camera doing a time-lapse video. So it's very cool for me to be able to do this in a live stream environment where people are actually watching me doing it live, and I'm able to talk about it, talk through the process. So thank you guys for hanging out, and I appreciate you, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.